In this part of our 3D tank game series in Unity, we're going to implement a complete shooting system for mobile devices. By the end of this video, your tank will be able to shoot bullets from the cannon, spawn muzzle flash effects, and destroy the bullets on impact or after a few seconds, fully optimized for mobile performance. Step 1. Scene Setup. Let's begin by preparing our scene in Unity. On your tank model, right in front of the cannon barrel, create an empty game object and name it Fire Point. This will act as the spawn point for bullets. Next, create a bullet prefab. A simple sphere object works fine for now. Add a rigid body component so the bullet can move using physics. Make the sphere smaller so it looks like a proper shell and save it as a prefab named Bullet. To make the firing feel more dynamic, let's create a basic particle system as a muzzle flash effect. Once you're happy with how it looks, save it as a prefab and name it Muzzle Flash. Step 2. Creating the shooting script, tankshooter.cs. Now we're going to write the script that handles firing. Header, bullet settings. This attribute is just for organizing the inspector in Unity. It creates a labeled section called Bullet Settings to group the related variables. Public variable bullet prefab of type GameObject. This variable stores the prefab of the bullet you want to shoot. You'll assign a 3D model or a visual effect, like a sphere or VFX, to this field in the inspector. Public variable fire point of type transform. This is the location and direction from where the bullet will be fired. Usually, it's the end of the tank's barrel or cannon. Public variable bullet speed of type float, initialized with 20f, defines how fast the bullet travels when shot, measured in Unity units per second. Public variable bullet lifetime of type float with value 5f. This value sets how long the bullet exists after being fired. After this time, the bullet is destroyed to prevent memory issues. Header Fire Rate Settings creates another section in the Unity inspector labeled Fire Rate Settings. Public variable fire rate of type float with value 1f. This sets how many times per second the tank can shoot. For example, 1f means 1 bullet per second. Private variable next fire time of type float with initial value 0f. This variable keeps track of the next time the tank is allowed to fire. It's used to control the shooting cooldown and prevent spamming. Header Muzzle Flash adds a new labeled section in the inspector called Muzzle Flash. Public game object Muzzle Flash prefab. This is the visual effect prefab, like a small explosion or flash of light that appears when a bullet is fired. Void Start. Unity runs this method automatically when the game starts or when the object is enabled. It's useful for initialization. Next fire time equals 0f. Resets the next fire time so the tank can shoot immediately when the game starts. Void Update. This method is called once per frame. It constantly checks for user input or updates the object's behavior. If condition with the condition expression, input get button down with input fire 2. Checks if the player has pressed the button assigned to fire 2, usually the right mouse button in Unity's input settings. The fire function, if the input is detected, it calls the fire method to shoot a bullet. Defining the fire function as public void. This is the main method responsible for handling all bullet shooting logic. It's public so that you can call it from mobile buttons or other scripts. If condition with the expression time.time less than next fire time, in which case return is executed. If the current game time is less than the next allowed fire time, the method exits early. This enforces the fire rate limit. assigning next fire time as time.time plus 1F divided by fire rate. Updates the next fire time so that the next shot can only happen after the correct cooldown. For example, if fire rate equals 2, the next fire is allowed 0.5 seconds later. Defining the bullet variable of type GameObject, assigned with the output of the instantiate function with parameters bullet prefab, fire point position, and fire point rotation. Spawns instantiates a new bullet at the fire point's position and rotation. Defining the RB variable of type Rigidbody, assigned with the Rigidbody component of bullet. Gets the Rigidbody component from the bullet so we can apply physics to it, like velocity or gravity. If RB is not null, setting the RB velocity to fire point forward multiplied by bullet speed. If the Rigidbody exists, it sets its velocity to move in the forward direction of the fire point multiplied by bullet speed. The destroy function with parameters bullet and bullet lifetime automatically destroys the bullet after the time set in bullet lifetime. This helps avoid having too many bullets in the scene, which could hurt performance. If condition checking if muzzle flash prefab is not null, checks if a muzzle flash effect has been assigned. Defining the flash variable of type GameObject, assigned with the output of instantiate with parameters muzzle flash prefab, fire point position, and fire point rotation. Spawns the muzzle flash visual effect at the fire point, right when the bullet is fired. Calling the destroy function with parameters flash and 1F. Destroys the muzzle flash after 1 second, since the effect is only visual and should disappear quickly. Step 3. Bullet collision and auto-destruction, bulletcollision.cs. Let's make sure the bullets disappear when they hit something. Create a new script called bulletcollision.cs. In this script, use the onCollisionEnter method to detect contact with any object. Inside this method, simply call destroy GameObject to remove the bullet. This helps prevent too many bullets from staying in the scene and improves performance, especially important for mobile games. Step 4. Connecting to the mobile fire button. Now let's connect this firing system to the UI. Inside the canvas, create a new button and position it where players can easily reach it. Customize the look or label of the button. In the on-click event of the button, drag in the object with your tank shooter script. Then, from the drop-down, select the fire method. That's it! Now your tank can shoot whenever the player taps the button, at a controlled rate.